after using the Golfbuddy W11 several times on the course, I'd describe it as a sheep in wolf's clothing. On paper, this looks like a pretty good piece of kit. It's got an impressive colour touchscreen display, it provides a full hole layout, it has an impressive battery life at around 13 hours GPS use, and it even comes with an additional strap in the box. However, once I got to using the watch out on the golf course, I quickly realised that it was missing quite a lot of core functionality that I expected it to have, especially for a watch in this price range. It retails for £250 in the UK, although you can normally find it on offer for around the £200 mark. But even at that price, there are other watches which might not look as pretty as this watch, but has all the core golf functionality that I really want. Which makes me wonder, how has today's golfer given this their 2022 Editor's Choice Award? As always, I've included my affiliate links down in the description below, along with any discounts so you can pick this up for less than retail price. Looking at the actual watch itself, the case is pretty plasticky, and it comes with a ceramic bezel, although it doesn't necessarily make it look particularly pretty. It's pretty plain looking when you look at it on the watch face, and the plastic outer casing there kind of eats into that bezel as well. The watch does sit pretty thick on the wrist, so if you've got particularly skinny wrists like me, then it is gonna sit quite high off your wrist. If you have got skinny wrists like me, then you're probably gonna need to punch an extra hole in the strap, because even on the smallest setting, this watch still could spin around on my wrist. So it is a touchscreen unit, as I said before, and the button on the side of the watch, there's a click, but there's quite a lot of travel in it. It feels pretty spongy. The red, white and blue strap that it comes with is actually rubber, and it's just got the material stitched onto the front. The additional one that you get in the box, well, this is a black one with some stitching on the front of it, but this is rubber all the way through. Charging the watch is really simple. In the box, you get this magnetic charging cradle, and it's powered by USB. And all you do is just with the magnets on it, clip it to the back of the watch, and then rest it down on the table, and it starts charging nice and easy. When I first got the watch, it had 8 different watch faces to choose from, and to be totally honest, none of them looked particularly special. I wouldn't really want to wear this watch as my everyday watch off the golf course. But after doing a firmware update, for some reason, I've then only got 2 watch faces to choose from. So first of all, you've got this one here, which is a kind of classic digital watch face. And if I swipe down, yep, there we go. You've got a alternative digital watch face. So there's no, look, you can see I'm swiping there. It's literally that one or that one. If you were thinking you were going to use the W11 to track any fitness activities that you might be doing, such as runs or bike rides or walks or anything like that, well, you can do that on similarly priced Garmin golf watches, such as the S42. With the W11, you haven't got any of those activity tracking features. You can only use the GPS for golf, which at around £200 is a little bit disappointing. Something else which is a little bit disappointing is the Bluetooth connectivity. Yes, it has Bluetooth, and it can connect to your phone if you download the Golfbuddy app. But what you can actually do with that Bluetooth, well, it isn't very much at all. The Bluetooth can be used to update the firmware and the course updates on the watch, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. And it can also be used to cast the screen on the watch to your phone or tablet or whatever it's connected to. Again, there's not a feature that I'm particularly interested in, and I don't think there's going to be too many people out there that really use it. What the Bluetooth doesn't allow you to do is get any notifications from your phone and bring them up on your watch. If you've got a phone call coming in or a text message, this ain't going to tell you. And although you can keep score on the watch and track your putting stats, you can't get them off of the watch. They're stuck on there. That's just simple core functionality that I would expect to see on a £200 golf watch. Well, £250 if you're paying full retail price. I appreciate that I haven't been particularly glowing about this golf watch so far. And if you have bought this watch or had it given to you as a present, it's not all bad. The on-course colour display that you get with this watch is really nice and bright. And actually the full hole layout looks really good. I've got no complaints there for the money that I'm paying for this watch. The watch also comes with slope, so it can factor in the elevation and then give you a more accurate yardage. The main screen giving you the yardages to the front, middle and back is nice and clear. And at the top of the screen you get a hole indicator and what par the hole is. And then at the bottom you get an indication of your current score. Swiping right on the watch then gives you the full hole layout, which you can move in and manipulate. And again, that's a nice feature to have. and swiping right again then gives you the distances to various hazards on the hull. Although it only gives you the distances to the hazards, not the distances to carry them. If you want to measure the shot that you've just taken, then you can swipe left and then that'll bring up a screen where you can hit the record button and then start walking to your ball, and then you have a note of how far you hit your last shot. So if all that matters to you is having a golf watch that has a nice quality screen that looks good and can give you the full whole layout, this is pretty much going to meet your needs. And if you can get it at a significant discount, well, there's not much else that can offer you those features for that money. But for me, I want more out of my golf watch. And although I just listed those positives, I'm afraid I've got a few more negatives. Using the watch itself just feels a little bit slow, can get a little bit laggy, especially if you're zooming in and scrolling around on that whole view mode. As I mentioned, you do have the ability to track the distance of your shots, but there's no gyroscopes in here, so that feature doesn't turn on automatically. It can't sense when you've hit a shot. You've got to remember to go into that menu setting and start recording. What's more frustrating is that I've noticed when using this watch out on the golf course, there's been quite a few occasions when hazards have simply been missing. Now I appreciate that I hadn't updated the course data that I was on, and I'm going to come to that in a little bit as well, because that's not as simple as I'd like it to be. But on more than one occasion, on the whole view, I could see that there were hazards. There was water running across the fairway, but again, swiping across, it said that there was no hazards on that hole. Now I mentioned updating the course data on this watch via the app, and it's a bit of a pain. Once you've downloaded the app and synchronized the watch to your phone, to find the course you want to update, you have to choose the region of the world that you're in. So I think I had to select Europe. Then you have to select the country that you're in, so obviously for me, the UK. Then you have to select the region of the UK which your course is found in. So I think for the courses that I was playing, I had to select the east of England. And then you had to type in and search the course that you wanted to update, scroll through, find it, press the update button, and let it do its thing, which took a few minutes. It just felt like a bit of a painful experience. I would have hoped that I could do it from the watch perhaps, and maybe it would just update automatically. I don't think that's how all golf watches work, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've just not updated my other golf watches for specific courses. As I mentioned before, you can track your scores with the watch. When you get to the green, the watch just changes its display and says that you're at the green side. That's fine. When I walk away from the green after finishing the hole, it doesn't automatically bring up the scorecard to enter your shots and details, it just jumps you on to the next hole. So to enter the score, you have to press the bottom of the screen and then that brings up the scorecard, and then you use the sliders to change the score that you got and the number of putts that you took. You can't track your accuracy of your drive, whether it went left, right, long or short, and you can't track whether you hit a bunker, and you can't even track whether or not you took any penalties on that hole. But I suppose that doesn't really matter, given that the scores are stuck on the watch. You can't do anything with them anyway, unless you're going to manually write them down and keep your data for yourself. And let's be honest, no one's really going to be doing that. And if that is stuff that you want, go buy a different watch that will allow you to get your data off of the watch. It'll be far easier to use and understand that data. The other thing about the scoring system on the watch is that it doesn't even allow you to enter your handicap. So it only shows you your gross stroke play score. So for those of you who like to track Stableford scores, this watch isn't for you. The Golfbuddy W11 is the type of watch that encouraged me to start this channel. I want to share honest, real-world reviews that help golfers make informed decisions, because around £200 or even £250 if you pay retail price for this, that's a lot of money for what you're getting. Well, more so, a lot of money for what you're not getting. I don't necessarily believe that there's such a thing as bad tech. Okay, on occasions there is bad malicious tech, but generally there's not bad tech, there's just bad pricing. If this watch was coming in at £150, then I could probably forgive it for a lot of things that it's missing, because there are plenty of golfers out there who just want to have a nice colour touchscreen display, which is going to give them pretty much all the information they need, and they don't care about stats. They don't care about some of the ease of life features that other watches can provide you. If this was £150, it's a little bit more of an attractive price point, and I could call it pretty good value for money. At £200, however, well, there are other watches in that price range which, although they might not have all of the features that this watch has, such as a colour touchscreen or that full whole layout view, something like the ShotScope V3 or the Garmin S12 are giving you a lot of other features that you might prefer having out on the golf course. In fact, using the Golfbuddy W11 gave me an idea. So I spent over £1,000 and bought every golf watch that costs under £200. So make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and hit that bell so you can get notified when I post my full comparison video and let you know which one of these watches I think is the best. I don't think it's going to be the Golfbuddy W11.